Taaleri CEO Ilkka Laurila. How did Taaleri's 2025 went on your perspective?
Well, when I started at the beginning of the year as a CEO, we said that we will outline and update our strategy. We came up with our updated strategy in our Capital Markets Day in September. So considering those factors, I think we have already been able to make quite significant progress when it comes to our strategy implementation, which is our next strategy period is from 26 to 28. But during already that half year's period that we have been implementing our strategy, I think we have made a quite good progress. When it comes to the numbers, I think in numbers perspective, development was also quite good. We were able to finalize the final close of our flagship fund in renewable energy, which is a great milestone. And then on the other hand, we also saw very positive development in our insurance business, Garantia, which had a quite significant increase in its market share also in 25. So all in all, I could say quite good and productive year 25.
Let's talk about the strategy. You launched the new strategy in September last year. Could you summarize the key elements of the strategy?
Sure. So we have three businesses. So first of all, we have Garantia, which is insurance company. Then we have private asset management, and then we have development capital. In Garantia, I think the strategy is threefold. First of all, increase the awareness which relates to consumer exposure and the mortgage loans that it's providing. Secondly, is increasing the distribution channel and partners that relates mainly to corporate loans. And finally, we said that we are investigating in international opportunities in which we were able to make the first step already at the end of last year. Then in private asset management, growth strategy is twofold. First of all, grow fund sizes within our existing three strategies, which are renewable energy, bioindustry, and real estate. But then on the other hand, we have said that we are targeting several new asset strategies during strategy period 26 to 28, meaning that at the end of strategy period, we are maybe so-called multi-strategy asset manager when it comes to private asset management. And finally, development capital target is quite, let's put it that way, opportunistically kind of capitalize minority stake type of opportunities in the market and allocate capital in such a target entities where we are not able to invest through our funds, but the opportunities that we are able to identify in the market. And also on that, we are able to execute first investment in development capital at the end of last year.
One of the so-called hot topics before the strategy update was the role of Garantia in your strategy. Obviously, the Garantia and the private asset business doesn't have very much synergies. So can you talk about the rationale why you see Garantia as a key part of your company structure?
Well, I think it's twofold. First of all, it's as a Garantia, as a separate entity, we see a lot of development potential there. There's a lot of, I think, if you want to call them low-hanging fruits that we are able to kind of most likely, or our target is to capitalize during the strategy period with those targets that we set. That's one element on that. Then secondly, the role of Garantia in our existing portfolio is such that as we are in a growth phase when it comes to private asset management, through Garantia's stable cash flow and dividend that is still able to provide even though that it grows, we are able to kind of invest in other parts of the of the group, meaning the private asset management and the development capital. And there it plays a crucial role at this stage when we are in a growth mode in private asset management. Maybe finally, it has a certain clear operational synergies also, especially when it comes to the real estate market. Obviously, our real estate asset management business is operating under same market than Garantia's mortgage loan business. They're only on the other side of the balance sheet, so to speak, but they're operating in the same market, so the knowledge sharing is clear and evident in that market. And finally, it is able to kind of provide certain, let's say, equity bridge type of financing for our funds, and which then will boost the IRR returns in our private asset management business. And hopefully also in the future, there is certain elements that we are maybe hopefully in the future able to capitalize in other parts of or other new strategies in our private asset management business.
On your own balance sheet investment portfolio, you have a lot of larger, older assets which are fairly close to the exit phase or even in the exit phase. At the same time, you have dry powder, and the dry powder keeps piling up while you divest the older investments from your balance sheet. So there should be a lot of recycling of the capital, so to speak, coming in the next 2 years or during the strategy period. How confident are you currently that you are able to recycle this capital, find new investment opportunities at the same time divest successfully the older assets?
Well, obviously, I think you need to be confident, but I think I think we are seeing quite actually slightly positive development in M&A market. Obviously, the picture is mixed, especially when it comes to Finland. But in the Nordic context and in a European wider context, I think we are seeing more positive development in the M&A market, and also kind of the valuation territories are coming more and more favorable. Of course, there's a lot of, let's say, uncertainties related to that, and that's why it's good to have that we have quite strong balance sheet at the moment, so that we have a flexibility to kind of optimize the exit timings of our assets. You said that quite correctly, that we have a lot of assets that are in an exit phase, but still we have a strong balance sheet. We are not in a hurry to kind of capitalize the circulate the capital that we have invested. If the capital is still forecast to kind of have a return on equity which exceeds that 15% target level, then it's better to own it than to kind of risk it by just selling it and acquiring something else.
Yeah. Yes, so you are confident on that.
I'm confident, yes.
On that front. And basically investors should expect that your portfolio actually looks kind of different when the strategy period eventually ends.
Most likely, yes.
Yes. Then about the fundraising outlook, you successfully final closed the SolarWind III fund. Can you describe the fundraising outlook on your private asset business overall for the next 24 months or so?
Starting maybe with renewable energy, like I said, we made our final close at the end of last year. So beginning of this year is the time when we execute the investment and the kind of the utilize the dry powder that we have been able to collect. But then on the other hand, we already start the preparement of the next vintage during this year, and then most likely that kind of the true fundraising then kicks off in 2027. Same actually applies to bioindustry. So this year is most likely the final year of the investment period, and then we will do obviously the kind of the continuation investment with the existing targets. But then in 2027, most likely we will start the fundraising for the next vintage. Then in real estate, we are targeting new funds already and separate mandates accounts during this year. So there's a lot of activity related to real estate segment and the real estate business already this year. So that's those are in a bit different phases, different asset strategies.
Okay, but obviously you are expecting major growth if you combine the fundraising of all of your strategies during the strategy period, basically.
Yes. So if the final close for SolarWind 3 was now that 630 million, target for the next vintage is that 800 million. And in real estate, we have said that on our capital markets day that we are targeting doubling the AUM during the strategy period. It's now 700 million, and the target is 1.4 billion euro.
Yes. Your earnings mix has historically been fairly volatile and can be kind of difficult to understand for investors. You basically have three components there. You have the fee result, which comes from continuous earnings asset management, and of course the Garantia's underwriting result. Then you have the carried interest or performance fees, however you want to call them. And then finally you have the investment income from your own balance sheet and from Garantia's balance sheet. I guess the first part, the fee result, is fairly simple. You are aiming to grow that significantly during the strategy period. But how about the other two parts, the performance fees / carried interest and the investment income? How investors should look at those? And finally, how you expect your mix to develop during the strategy period?
Well, yeah. I think the key thing maybe to understand is that the fluctuation will continue also in the future in those two categories, and the kind of that is due to the underlying fact that obviously, especially when it comes to the investment income, the fair value changes have a meaningful impact in our strictly into our P&L. So that will have a meaningful impact, and obviously in there all kind of macroeconomic factors when it comes to the interest rate development and the whatever electricity price development in the market, that all will have a market in a fair value changes. So it's really difficult to kind of forecast. But then when it comes to performance fees, during the strategy period, we should kind of be kind of achieving the times, especially when it comes to renewable energy vintages, that we are able to accrue performance fees of the kind of the, let's say, mid vintages, meaning that the old vintages we have already recognized, and obviously those that are investment phase, those we are not yet recognizing, but there is a couple of fund vintages in between, and most likely in those we are able to recognize revenue during our strategy period.
Yes. But obviously on the performance fee side, I mean, in this business, you kind of need to earn performance fees over the long term, since that's the proof that your funds are actually successful, and you are able to raise new funds, basically. That's
the name of the game. But also in there, you should also note that there is a kind of the different sub-markets in the private equity industry, and different sub-markets are developing in different stages, and therefore different vintages have a different, even though that the overall asset performance has been good, the different kind of the vintages might have a different performance fees, and that's the whole logic of the private equity kind of vintages and the kind of the cycle of that business.
Then looking at 2026, what are your priorities for the year? Where Taaleri needs to be successful so that CEO is happy in the end of the year?
Well, starting with the Garantia, the insurance company, I think we need to see still positive development when it comes to the market share development, especially in the mortgage loan. still need to be able to capitalize our opportunity and our great product and service in there. Then in corporate loans, there we need to see quite significant relative to its size, significant increase in volume, and that's our clear target, be it then international or Finnish corporate loans. In private asset management, we already touched upon on the fundraising, but then on the other hand, I would be quite disappointed if we would not be able to kind of already launch some new asset class and strategy to the market. That's a clear target for 26. And then on the development capital, also in that I believe that the pipeline as such and is so strong that most likely we are able to see some of additional deployments in that category. But like I said, we don't have any deployment target in there, but we are looking at market quite opportunistically. But still, I believe that we are able to kind of deploy additional capital during this financial year.
Finally, the M&A. Taaleri, you could say that M&A is in the DNA of Taaleri. You have made several larger transformations, a lot of M&A during Taaleri's history. Can you shed some light on your M&A playbook? How you view on the M&A? Obviously, it's a part of your current strategy still.
Yes, and that is, like you said, that's part of the playbook. And it is especially when we take a look at the private asset management, if we start from there. When we take a look at the new strategies, we always take a look at if we would like to enter into new strategy, we are looking at from 3 dimensions. First of all, kind of recruiting, let's say, lead key team members and building it organically. Secondly is let's put it that way, the acquiring team. And third is M&A. So we are continuously investigating kind of, when we are saying that this is the kind of the strategy that where we would like to enter, we are continuously looking at the kind of make or buy type of decision. So it's not crucial, but it's optional versus the organic growth. And if we see that the M&A is more attractive to enter into new strategy, then we obviously are willing to execute that sort of transactions.
Yes, and then how about on the other parts of the business? Do you Garantia? Do you see any options there?
Well, there's opportunities obviously as well in Garantia, but that would then let's put it that way, that would then be some new products or services. We currently have only, if we want to simplify it, we have one product that we are providing in our insurance business, and which is quite unique one, and therefore it would most likely be some new niche type of insurance markets that you would enter through the M&A, but that's always a possibility.
Yes, and I guess it's also worth to highlight for investors that as Taaleri has made several very large strategic structural changes during its history, you have fairly openly said that you are always open to have a discussions if somebody wants to
both
have
ways.
those. Yes,
both ways.
Yes, thank you, Ilkka, very much.
Thank you.